What's going on, everybody? After a ridiculous demand, I'm back with NFL recaps. I know it's week 4, but it is what it is, bro. I'm gonna try to make it come out on a consistent basis. I've been pretty busy over the last couple of weeks, but like I said, a lot of people from other countries, not even the USA, the UK, Scotland, several places, Mexico. People just been like, look, man, we need to recap. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you got to do, what's happening. I got to do the recap. So, as you know, a lot of people may try to imitate what I do and, try to do it, but I guess they're not doing it the way that I do it. So I'm back again to show you guys that I listen to what my viewers and my followers ask of me as much as I can. And we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. The first game here, New York Giants versus Washington. I actually watched this game, and it was a big, a controversy over RG3 and Cousins because, the coach said, who was that coach? That's the Chucky's little brother, who's the commentator now. He had a lot to say about, maybe Cousins fits the scheme better than RG3 does anyway. It's sort of like him as the coach. Like, everybody seems to be really bashing RG3, and like I said, other than his face being hideous, the guy has a lot of talent. So he just needs somebody to embrace him. And yes, he's injury prone, but I don't think we've gotten to see what he really can do because he's usually always hurt. That's my opinion. But in no way, shape, or form did I ever think that Kirk Cousins could compare to what RG3 is as an athlete and as a quarterback. And that's, again, my opinion. Kirk Cousins went out there and was throwing the ball to the other team on a consistent basis to the point where I was just like, yo, it's no way that this man can continue to do it. And as soon as I turned around and looked back, he did it again. And he wasn't Britney Spears, though, but he did it again. So I'm just going to tell you straight out, Kirk Cousins is a straight bum. And what was that, Gruden? Yeah, Jay Gruden or something, whatever the son is. It just shows you that, certain coaches will give people preference over others. I don't want to say that it's color related, but it just seems that way. RG3 goes out there, has a bad game, everybody writes him off, he's a bum burger, whatever. Kirk Cousins out there throwing continuous picks, and we have another quarterback on the team. Sit his dumb ass down. Why is he still out there? He's throwing picks directly to the other team on a consistent basis. What the F? So that's from the Washington side. That guy sucks. And Jay Gruden better be careful, because they probably gonna fire his fat ass in a second. He's like a fat version of what's the other Gruden name? I forgot the other. Is that Jay Gruden? I know the brother's name is one of them. He looks like Chucky, the other Gruden. But he better be careful, because he might get fired also for doing stupid shit, because they trying to fire coaches now. The New York Giants, on the other hand, listen, man, I thought Eli was washed up. Watching this game, he's not. And I'm being very, very honest. He made some great throws. Do I think that he's the luckiest quarterback to ever play in the NFL because he has 2 Super Bowls and I have no idea what the fuck was going on? He had great defenses. Yes, I do. Do I believe that the Manning family has talent and they just produce quarterbacks? Yes, I do. This man went out there and aired these guys the F out. I don't know what was happening, but the blood just wouldn't stop. I don't know what was going on, but look, I'm a New Yorker. I've been in New York most of my life, if not all of it. And I can tell you this much, man. If he plays like that and the defense is somehow or another, or they can do stuff. You know what I'm saying? If they can play like this and guys can get open and guys can make plays, the New York Giants can be a major problem. Washington, not so much, because if Kirk Cousins starts another game, he's probably going to throw a pick to the cheerleader. That guy is a fucking bum. And I'm going to be honest with you. If he stays in the game after he has a 3 or more pick game, Jay Gruden, whatever Gruden he is, his days may be numbered there. So look out for that game, because I think he's playing, what is it? It's going to be Monday night when his brother is hosting it or something, and they're playing like the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know. It's something like that. I don't know. I don't really know what the F's going on, but I know that his brother's going to be there commentating at the game. And I can tell you this much. That guy sucks donkey nuts, bro. Kirk Cousins. All right, the next game. Carolina at Baltimore. Baltimore 38, Carolina 10. The moral of the story is this. You gave up on Steve Smith when the man still had fuel in the tank, bro. You didn't have to sign him to a long deal contract, but you could have shown appreciation for what the man does. And listen, I'm a businessman, okay? So I understand the fact about moving on. For example, Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck. I understand those moves. Look, I know Peyton Manning can be great, whatever like that, but I have to plan for the future. I understand things like that. But this was Cam Newton's safeguard. Steve Smith was Cam Newton's fucking guy that he went to on a consistent basis. F needed. You don't take that away from Cam Newton. You don't. You just don't. I understand that he has the other guy over there, Calvin Benjamin and shit like that, but you don't replace something that's consistent. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard to replace something that's consistent in the NFL because the NFL is such a tough and rugged league. That was a bad move. And all I'm saying is, look, even if you give him like a 2-year contract, he's a bum, you put it in a contract like, yo, Steve Smith, you suck this year, get the F out. You just don't put away a guy like that with that type of vigor. Like he said in his post interview, he ran around them boys like they were like, you know what I'm saying, like they were school kids. He did. And everything went their way. The tip ball of Steve Smith, everything. He did the dude was pass interference him on the left side. He did him with that. Like, it's just a fascinating thing to see it happen. Because everybody doesn't age the same way. And if a guy shows the capability that he's still able to play, you don't just throw him away like that. So, with that happening, and then Torrey Smith on the other side tearing out their asshole, Carolina was demolished. It was an embarrassment. And like I said, I watch these games simultaneously on Red Zone. So I'm all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I'm switching games, and I'm getting as much as I can. But it's very, very good. And like I said, this was the first Sunday that I was able to do it consistently, to watch a little bit of each game so I can tell you what I feel. And every time that I went to the Baltimore game, I'm going to say it again, Cam Newton, they got to make the motherfucker scramble. He's an athletic guy. They cannot sit him there and not make him do anything. They have to make this guy move around, run read options. They have to run the offense like that, else Carolina will not win games. The defense is good, Kuechly and every shit like that, but you got to be able to score points in this league. You have to. And Cam Newton is sitting there still like a stiff erection. You can't sit there like that. You cannot do that. That does not work. Understand me that it does not work. They cannot do that to Cam Newton. They have to pistol, read option. You know, similar to what they do with Russell Wilson. Why the fuck do you think that guy's so successful? Because they utilize him to his capability. The guy's 5'11", they didn't give him a chance, and now he's walking around with a Super Bowl ring. Use your fucking quarterback's talents to the greatest of the ability that they can do it, and they will be successful. The games will be closer. It will work. That's the future of the NFL if you make it so. But they got ass raped, those Panthers. Shout out to Carolina, North Carolina, though. You know I got love for you guys, but damn, that was embarrassing. You guys suck. All right, going to Green Bay and Chicago. Now, when this game started, I thought that Chicago coming off that big win against the 49ers, you know what I'm saying? It was going to be about that. What, did they just beat the 49ers? I don't remember whatever week it was, but they looked like they had a lot of talent. It started off pretty close. And then Aaron Rodgers went all Aaron Rodgers on motherfuckers. And that was it. Once it started, listen, Aaron Rodgers has a lot of talent. He did start the season off like a straight up bitch, and I did draft him in my fantasy league, and he did not look at Sherman's side at one point that whole entire game, which I'm very disappointed in him. But that man is a Super Bowl champion in its own right, and yo, he went out there, he just went out there with his dick out. You know, point blank period. You know, for my younger viewers, I know it may seem a little crazy, but that's how he came out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just straight rape, and he took care of business. Nothing really interesting about the game other than Jay Cutler's a bum, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. People are going to be what they are. We know what guys' capabilities are. We know that Matt Schwab was a bum. We know that Jay Cutler can air the ball out, powerful arm, stuff like that, but when it comes down to it, he's going to do something stupid. We know these things, so we have to expect it. That's all I'm saying. There's not much to go in with it. Divisional game, I believe, what are they both NFC North, right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so anything could happen in these games, but, you know, Aaron Rodgers went Aaron Rodgers on him. Point blank period. Buffalo at Houston. Houston 23, Buffalo 17. J.J. Watt is an amazing player. All right. If Jadeveon, whatever the fuck, yo, that guy's name is so goddamn stupid. He is a clown. Jadeveon Clowney. If he wasn't out and they were able to do the things that they were supposed to be doing with him and J.J. Watt on that line, Houston could go very, very far just defensively. Is Fitzpatrick their quarterback now? I think. Do I agree with that move? I don't. But defensively, they have a lot of talent there. If Jadeveon Clowney can stop getting, you know, African American names and play football. On the Buffalo side, like I said, I'm a New Yorker. I love my New York teams. I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on with Buffalo. They had a lot of opportunities to win that game. Manuel, I don't know. I have no comment. I have to start going more in depth though. So I'm gonna have to look at more stuff that's happening with the game. But just watching it, I don't like what they're doing. I don't like the progressions. I don't like a lot of the shit that's happening. I don't like their defense. I'm just not happy with Buffalo right now. That's just my opinion. Houston made the game exciting defensively because J.J. Watt was all up in their ass, running picks back for 6. All kinds of freaky shit was going on. But this game was not entertaining to me, and whenever it switched to it, I didn't even want to look at it. But when I saw J.J. Watt putting work in, I love to watch a guy go out there with a lot of heart and prove it on the field. I love that. And J.J. Watt, man, I support what you do. You go out there every game and you just give it to him, broken nose or not. You lay it down. You're a real football player that plays football. Like John Madden would say, you're a real football player that plays football. I like that. So nothing to really write home about with that game. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Indianapolis 41, Tennessee 17. Tennessee shouldn't be in the NFL. Andrew Luck went ham. That is all. Next game. Detroit at New York Jets. What the hell? Why is that guy? What's that guy's name? The burnt raccoon, Geno Smith. Why is Geno Smith still starting quarterback? Why is Rex Ryan still a head coach in the NFL? These are questions that I ask myself every time I look at a Jets game. Rex Ryan needs to leave the New York area and never come back. That's what he has to do. He just has to leave and never come back because this man is a joke as a head coach. Defensively, maybe he could work someplace else, you know what I'm saying? You can try to deal with him. Him and his brother are assholes, and they're showing that more and more. Yeah, at one point with Baltimore, defensive genius may have been said. Nothing is being shown right now. You put a man on an island by himself after he's part of something, and you see that he didn't really have as much to do with it as we all thought. Because this guy is a fucking joke. Geno Smith, his face is what's going to prevent him from ever being the face of a franchise. Because he looks like a fucking dickhead. Then he's cursing at fans. You deserve to be cursed at the way you played. You got to keep your composure though. You still getting millions of dollars and you're not worth it. In my opinion, he's not worth it. Michael Vick is sitting there, fresh off of killing 19 dogs, ready to go. And you got this guy out there just fucking throwing the ball directly to the other team, talking about he didn't see him. How the fuck you didn't see him? He's the only guy there. What the fuck else you looking at? I don't understand that. How much longer do you want New Yorkers to deal with this shit? You know how we do in New York. We're going to start chanting, give us Michael Vick. I've been chanting that before the season started. Rex Ryan is completely responsible for the shortcomings of the Jets this season. Because if you give a veteran like Michael Vick a chance, he will... Listen, the Jets wouldn't have lost the games that they lost. I can tell you that much. Because Michael Vick, if not for the killing of the dogs, would have already had a Super Bowl ring, in my opinion. Because he was one of the most electrifying players that I've ever seen in the NFL. And he still has those legs. He still has that arm. He has Chris Johnson. Give these guys a chance to be successful. And Michael Vick is a handsome man. He can still be the face of the New York Jets franchise. That ugly motherfucker. Yo, listen. He has to go. Geno Smith has to go. Trade him. Do something with him. Just get him the fuck out of my sight. And Rex Ryan better get fired as soon as possible. And speaking of getting fired, Miami at Oakland. Thank you very much for firing Dennis Allen. Thank you. Miami 38, Oakland 14. Thank you so much. This guy's face looks like a clean-shaved pussy. I could not deal with it. Every time I seen it, it made me question my sexuality because I always wanted to fuck. Then I realized his face looked like a shaved pussy. Dennis Allen should not work in the NFL ever again. And I'm not saying that to be harsh. He just doesn't look like a man. You need men out there. You need men that are ready to fucking show. Like, you can't give a speech and you look like fucking Kim Kardashian. You cannot do that. I'm disgusted with what the Oakland Raiders have done. Disgusted. Listen, what is his name? Davis, what is it? What is his name? What was Al Davis. Al Davis was a psychopath for speed, but he had a vision. And his vision didn't include Dennis Allen being the coach. That's just my opinion. They better do something in Oakland before them boys stand up and start going crazy. I think that game was played in London though. But they got to do something in Oakland. They got to figure something out because everything is going fucking haywire. Everything is haywire. It's all bullshit. It's garbage. And I love me some Oakland and I love those fans. But they don't deserve what they're getting. And that was one step hopefully in the right direction. Do not put Sparano, all those other fucking lame ducks there, the head coach. Get those people in California a real head coach. Please. Next game, Tampa Bay at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, you disgust me. You are winning this game fucking very easily, and you allowed this fucking guy, what's that quarterback name for the Tampa? He just looks like a fucking, like a Harvard geek. He just stands up there and just looks like a dick, bro. But he has, Vincent Jackson is a beast, and he's showing that. Tampa Bay came back at the end. I watched the end of this game. Ben Roethlisberger is still Big Ben Rapelessberger. He's still raping bitches. He still has it in him. This was a very tough game that came down to a lot of penalties and a lot of coaching errors for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Palomalu hair, I don't know if it was detangled or what the deal was, but he wasn't himself. And I told him that if he wants to go out there and play football, his hair has to be well conditioned. And that might be a reason for the loss. Very exciting game offensively, though. I'm not going to lie about it, but Palomalu made some big plays in it, and I love watching him play because he roams the field like a Tasmanian devil. But in the end, it's what it's set. It's what the score is when the clock hits 0, and they allowed him to come back and beat them on that last second touchdown to Vincent Jackson. Very exciting game. Jacksonville at San Diego. San Diego 33, Jacksonville 14. Jacksonville is another team that shouldn't be in the NFL. Phillip Rivers, he probably had 3 babies while he was on the field this week. But I like Keenan Allen. I didn't get to really watch him a lot last year, but I like Keenan Allen. I watched this man get like 4 or 5 passes in a row. Like the defense doesn't know that they're going to him, and it's just disgusting to watch when you see professional teams and they have a team like Jacksonville. Like, bro, you don't have no business being there, bro. You have no business being in any way near. Not much to talk about with the game. I like what San Diego's doing, and I think they could be a competitor and go to the playoffs and upset some people. I really do. After beating the Seahawks, I like what I see with them. Atlanta at Minnesota. Minnesota 41, Atlanta 28. I'm very surprised that I haven't heard anybody talk about Adrian Peterson. I guess once you start beating your African American children, people just forget about you. Because the guy that's taking over for him, the way that they're playing, and BridgeWater. Oh my goodness, BridgeWater. Listen, with the pro day, when everybody was talking about him and all that shit like that, and all this bullshit, and I just sat back and wondered, some people are nervous. You know what I'm saying? I wrestled in college. I wrestled in high school. I was a pretty good wrestler. I won a lot more than I lost. My losses were very minimal. I just don't like to brag about what I did, but I'm going to tell you this. Before every match, you just don't know what your opponent is going to do. So it gives you butterflies. Like, I wasn't scared because I knew I was talented enough to win. You know what I'm saying? It was just butterflies. But once I shook hands with my opponent, it all went away. But when you give a young man a pro day with all these cameras and all this shit and all this other, you got fucking beavers out the damn watching and all this, some people can't handle that. Teddy Bridgewater is probably one of those guys, because I seen him put some jukes on that I kind of envisioned Barry Sanders when he juked those defenders and ran for the first down. And at first, I would never have put him in a position to say that he would be the rookie of the year, offensive rookie of the year. But I think he's going to be the offensive rookie of the year, and I also think he's the best quarterback coming out of the draft. I think and that's my honest opinion. I think he's the best rookie quarterback that came out this draft. Teddy Bridgewater. And I think the Vikings are very fortunate to have him. I also think that the Vikings should trade Adrian Peterson and see if they can get worth for him, because with all the allegations that they have against him, it's going to really take away from what Bridgewater can bring to that franchise. My opinion. AP, don't beat your kids in the scrotum. Next game. Philadelphia at San Francisco. San Francisco 26, Philadelphia 21. I don't know how the fuck Philadelphia allowed for the 49ers to win this game. And all this hysteria about Jim Harbaugh and him not being, the players not liking him in the locker room. When prime time speaks, when Deion Sanders speaks, bro, you got to take that man seriously. And whoever's telling Deion Sanders that, this is not a lie. They're not feeling Jim Harbaugh. They're just not feeling him, bro. And I was very surprised to see them come back and win this game. And I don't think that it's fair in most cases. Black, white, red, green, alien, what these coaches have to go through, because the guy has done nothing but win. Jim Harbaugh, honestly, let's be honest, guys. The man has done nothing but win. And granted, a lot of players are not going to like what every coach does, but that doesn't give everybody the right to bash him. And I don't know what's going on, but I do understand that if the players don't buy into a coach, it shows. So in a business point of view, overall, I would have to do what I have to do and possibly get rid of him. But I think he's an unbelievable coach. I think he's a great coach. I don't know him personally. I don't know anything. I'm not Stephen A. Smith. I don't know the guy since he was a baby. I don't know all that shit. I just see the way that he handles himself and the way that the team had responded to him when they won big games, when they did things, the hugs, the love. And I just think that he has the potential to continue to be a great head coach in this league. Just maybe not for the 49ers. He may have lost them at some point. I don't know what happened. I really can't say anything about it because I don't know the facts. But if they're telling Deion Sanders things, you got to keep that man. That man's word is very credible. So I believe something's going on in there. As far as Philly goes, I still think they're going to win the NFC East. No worries. The 49ers defense is still something to be reckoned with. So nothing to really cry about, Philly fans. You guys are good. Chip Kelly, great offensive mind. I think he's going to be well. The biggest part of that game, though, LaShawn McCoy, the run game didn't go nowhere. You can't win games if LaShawn McCoy is not producing. Darren Sproles saved you guys the first 3 weeks. Eventually, your luck runs out. And that's what happened in this game. Next game, New Orleans at Dallas. Dallas 38, New Orleans 17. I just want to say Drew Brees and Jimmy Graham could go fuck themselves because I have both of them in my fantasy league. And for the guys that are listening to this podcast that know that you played me and they fucking just both of them just sucked, kudos to you. But I'm gonna tell you this much: when Dallas runs the ball, you guys are, I don't know about my older, not that old, but go back to the Emmitt Smith days when the offensive line of the Dallas Cowboys was like the fucking wall, the Great Wall of China. The way that they were blocking for this guy, Sunday night, DeMarco Murray. If the Cowboys can play like that and keep the ball out of Tony Romo's hands, the Dallas Cowboys are a dangerous team, bro. So all you Cowboy fans out there, you got a lot to look forward to. Jason Garrett should be fired. I don't give a fuck how much they win. Jason Garrett is another guy that looks like a shaved pussy, but now he got a little bit of hair in his face. But he's just not a head coach in this league. That's my opinion. Somewhere or another, he has to be fired. But I was extremely impressed with the run game of the Dallas Cowboys as they butt-fucked the New Orleans Saints. Extremely impressed. Extremely. Kudos to you guys. New Orleans, you got a lot of problems on your hands. A lot of problems. And Jimmy Graham, I don't know why the fuck I drafted you because you're a useless fuck, bro. You're going to fumble the ball too. Not only are you going to play bad, but you're going to fumble the ball and let me lose 2 points in my league too. Well, that's all personal. But the Cowboys, very impressive win. Continue to run the ball. Sky's the limit. And for our last game, the finale, New England at Kansas City. Kansas City 41, New England 14. One of my friends actually flew down from New York to go to this game. He's a big Kansas City fan. I was very happy that the Kansas City Chiefs came through. The biggest problem that I have is the running back. Was that a running back, Abdullah, or something like that took a kneel down, and he's a Muslim, and they threw a flag? Meanwhile, Tim Tebow just fucking Tebows everywhere, and it became a national phenomenon, and you're going to flag this gentleman for believing in what he believes in? That's a problem to me, because you can't have it both ways. It's either wrong or it's right. You can't pick and choose, and you can't distinguish what's right and what's wrong. And I know there's a lot of people in America that says, yeah, the Muslim this, Muslim that. You can't judge everybody from their people. Everybody is an individual. If he's part of something that we don't agree with, that's different. But he's just an individual that happens to be a Muslim. And I think that the way that it came off, that's the way it came off to me. And I just didn't like it. My opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But as far as the New England Patriots go, Tom Brady, I know his offensive line have been shifted around. Bill Belichick been doing stuff with rookies, all kind of shit been going on. There's no excuse for the way the New England Patriots are performing. No excuse. At all. So, when you get your ass whipped like this, the one thing about New England, they've usually been very, very consistent. I don't see it anymore. And I actually prefer Garoppolo being in there over Tom Brady at this point. Because I just think it's just better to just have it done now and just sit Tom Brady's dumb ass down. That's my opinion. People are going to say, oh, no. I just don't know. Tom Brady doesn't look like Tom Brady anymore to me. He looks like he sucks. All right? That's just where I'm at right now. He sucks. Maybe he'll show something else. I don't know what's going on, but I like Garoppolo. All right? That's pretty much what it is. As far as the Chiefs go, Alex Smith has shown me every day that he's a quarterback in this league. He's a quarterback that can play the position. I was one of the guys that said he sucks dick. Not literally, I don't think he's homosexual, but I was against him for Kaepernick, and I just said he sucked. He's shown me that he doesn't. And I'm a man, I can admit when I'm wrong. I love what he just did yesterday. I can see a lot that he's not just a game manager, but he can throw that ball around. He can throw that thing, like they say in the South someplace. He can throw that thing. They were demolished yesterday, the New England Patriots. And I'm just going to go out on a limb here. I think they will make the playoffs, but let's just take away anything about Super Bowl, anything like that. They're pretty much done. I don't see that team doing anything spectacular or anything that would be remotely interesting. And I'm going to be honest with you. That's just what I feel. That's the recap. I got to see based on the comments if I'm going to be back next week. I'm going to try my best to do it. This podcast will also be available on iTunes. And I appreciate the feedback and you guys forcing me to come back for all these other countries. Definitely enjoy it. Definitely share it. Because if you share it and you enjoy it, then I will know that it's a higher demand for it to be done. Hope you guys enjoy what happened this week. A lot of guys are sucky and they cost me in fantasy. And I will continue to ravish and rave every week that they screw me in fantasy. Hopefully you enjoyed it as I said before. Until next time, it's always one love.